All right. And welcome everybody. This is Sherman Ray. Oh, make sure I got my microphone on. Oh, I guess I should turn that down a little bit. All right. Hey, folks, it's Sherman, and this is Black Success Magazine, the podcast. We are starting a little late today, and I guess part of it's really having to do with our one of our feeds that we're because we simulcast, folks. We simulcast the show on a daily basis, and one of our feeds is just not working today. So we are not going to do that one today, and we'll just, maybe we'll come back to it at some point. But today, folks, we're going to talk about how to make $1,000,000 in 2021, and we're going to talk about 4 or 5 ways to make $1,000,000 in 2021. And no, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's definitely not that. It is these are time honored principles that anybody can do. I mean, anybody can do it. I've done it before, and now starting all over again in 2020, even with the pandemic. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Even with the pandemic doing its thing, it is really quite possible to make $1,000,000 in 2021, and we're going to talk about that today. Let me make sure I get my banners up here first, so that everybody knows who I am. This is once again this is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine. It's a podcast, and so let's talk about how to make $1,000,000 in 2021. And I think this will surprise a lot of people how easy it is actually to make not just a little bit of money, but make quite a bit of money in a short period of time, literally in 12 months. It's easy to do. It's not easy to execute. That's the problem. Okay. And I think that's really what makes the difference between people who make a lot of money and people who don't make a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I was talking with my brother-in-law Sunday. Saturday. Saturday we were talking about great ways to make money because my grandson wants to go into real estate, and my grandson's he just turned 17, but he's already got his eye on moving forward, and so I'm very excited about that because he's a great kid, and he's already got his eye open for vehicles that are going to make him a tremendous amount of money. So I'm very excited about it. My brother-in-law has been in real estate for many, many years, and he's made a tremendous amount of money, and so that's all he wanted to talk about all the way home. That's all he wanted to talk about. Let's talk about making money, which is great because I love talking about making money. There are 3 things I love talking about the most: politics, I love talking about money, and I love talking about religion. So the 3 things you're not supposed to talk about, right? So those are the 3 things I love talking about the most because they're really the things that make the most difference in life. So I'm gonna see once again. I'm gonna see if I can get one of my other feeds up here running because I really hate to do that and not be able to. Let's see if it works here. Because if not, it's no big deal. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna go live on Facebook today, which is no big deal. And anyways, what we'll do for our Facebook folks is we'll send the video over to them in a link format, that kind of thing. So how do you make $1,000,000? The first thing you need to do is you actually need to have a plan. There is no way that anybody's going to be able to make a lot of money, a tremendous amount of money. I'm going to turn that off there. Let's turn that off. Yeah, there we go. Because I'm staring at myself. No one is going to be able to make a tremendous amount of money unless they have a plan. And that plan has got to be written down, and it has to have, and we call these SMART plans, right? So it's got to be, it's got to be simple. It's got to be measurable. It's, actionable. You've got to be able to, what's the R for? I forgot what the R was. And then T. So, and we'll have to do a whole thing on that because I keep forgetting what the symbols for SMART mean. But you've got to be able to quantify what you're doing. How am I doing it? Because if you give yourself 12 months, you start like you have a 12-month timeline. December 31st of 2021, you want to be someplace in time, whether it's to lose weight, whatever you want to do. But you've got to be able to do that. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you actually have a plan that tells you what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, how do you know you've done it, and that kind of stuff. So you have to have a plan. The second thing you need to get is you actually need to have a vehicle. Okay, you need to have a vehicle to get from here to there. Okay, what do we mean by a vehicle? Well, we can all wish to be cyclists, but unless you have a bicycle, which I rode this morning and it was on fire this morning. It was riding really fast this morning, as a matter of fact, and it was cold, about 45 degrees. Unless you have a vehicle to get from here to there, you're just not going to get from here to there. If you want to become rich, or if you want to read a book, whatever you want to do, you have to have a vehicle to get you from here to there. So let me give you some tips on vehicles that are going to help to get you where you're going to get. So, let's tell you what will not get you there to $1 million in a year. It's just not going to happen. Okay. The number one thing that will not get you to $1 million in 2021, if that's your timeline, okay, is having a job. Okay. A job, a job. Okay. The problem with a job is that jobs are not built to make you millionaires. Jobs are there to get functions done for whatever your company is. And so I've never met anybody who's gotten to be a millionaire because of their job, unless they've done something, generally it's not, I wouldn't say it's nefarious. I would just say that, it's a job, you're just not going to make it that way. Okay. Number two, the second way you are not going to make it to $1 million in 2021 is by saving your way to $1 million. Unless your particular job pays $1 million a year and you save every dime of it, that's the only way you're going to make it to $1 million in 1 year. And so, most of us like to eat, and most of us love to drink. Most of us have to drive. We have expenses in life. And unless you just don't have any of those things, and somebody's, paying for all of your bills, it's probably not going to happen that you save your way. Even if you put it in the bank, and you get the measly 1% savings rate. If you put it in a savings account, most savings accounts, savings accounts used to be 3 or 4%. And then banks said, why are we giving away all this money when we could be making this money on, the savings that were on the people's money that is put in savings. So they brought it down. It's like 1% now. So you're probably, there's other vehicles that you could use to put your money in to get more interest rate. Okay. And so we just listed the top 2 ways that you're probably not going to make it to $1 million in 2021. Or number 3, you're probably not going to be able to beg your way. Okay, you're not going to be able to just on your good looks walk out on the street and go, hey guys, give me money, give me money, give me money. So all those guys that you see out on the streets that are got the sign in front of them, panhandlers, and they're saying, hey, give me money. They're not doing it to become millionaires. I want to apologize, folks. And I had plenty of sleep last night. Sorry about that. You know that those 3 routes are not going to get you there. Okay, a job's not going to get you there. Saving all your money is not going to get there. Begging on the corner is not going to get you there. Let's talk about proven vehicles that are going to get you to where you want to go. Now, once again, I didn't say it was going to be easy, but I did say it is very doable. I mean, there's no doubt that it's very doable that you can do it. but it's going to take something. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of something for you to do it. And let me. This is what's going to happen. In order for you to make $1 million next year, there's a couple of things you're going to have to do first. One is you're going to have to sacrifice. Okay, yeah, that's that word, sacrifice. Sacrifice is one of those words that most people don't like because it means that it's going to hurt. And yes, it's going to hurt. You're going to have to sacrifice time, relationships. You're going to have to sacrifice the things that you like to do on a daily basis. Okay, you're going to have to sacrifice sleeping. Sometimes you're not going to be able to sleep. You're just going to have to push through it to get to where you want. But are you willing to do it? If you're wanting to make $1 million, and if you make $1 million in 2021, I'll tell you, you're going to look back. You're going to go, was it worth it? Oh, heck yeah, it was worth it, because I made to the goals that I wanted to make. You're going to have to sacrifice vacations. You're not going to be able to take a vacation. I mean, some of us are saying, well, I kind of like my vacation. I like getting up and, knowing that I've got a week off, that I'm not going to have to do anything. Okay? That's not going to be a part of what's going to be a part of your equation. In 2021, that's just not going to happen. Okay? Having some of the amenities that you're used to having. Okay? Maybe you're not going to be able to have cable TV. Okay? Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Okay? But if that's what it takes, and you have to cut out the cable TV, you're not going to have that. Okay? Sometimes it means having those cool new clothes that you always feel like you have to have. You're going to have, keeping up with the Joneses. Probably not going to be in the picture either. Okay? Sacrifice. Sacrifice means that I am going to be singularly focused on getting to where I want to go in life. For you to be successful in life, you sometimes you just can't. You're just not going to do it. Let's say you want to buy a brand new car next year. You're going to probably have to just live with the one you've got. Okay? You can't have everything and have that prize too. You just can't have it all. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to have to, but if it comes down to it, you might not get that brand new car. Okay? Those new clothes, those new shoes, all those new things that were before, that were so important to you, they are going to, they're going to have to go on the wayside. Is it still worth it to you now? And those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Anything in life that is worth having is worth risking and is worth sacrificing for. Many of us, when we got married, we gave up being single, footloose, fancy free, and we said, okay, you know what? I love this woman, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get her in my life. And once you do, you find out, wow, I guess taking that vacation that I usually take with the guys is probably not going to happen, because I've got a wife now, and we're planning a family. So now you've got some other things that you got to do. So in order to make $1 million in 2021, you're going to have to sacrifice, and it's tough. It's a tough thing to have to think about, but it's going to be worth it. All right, let's get on. Let's get on to some proven vehicles that will get you to where you're going. Okay. How many of you have ever played the game? What's the name of it? Not Rich Dad Poor Dad, but it's based upon the game Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Forgot the name of the game now. I don't know why I forgot the game. But in that game, it gives you the whole idea behind the game is to get out of the rat race, get on that cheese wheel. That you're running around, not making any difference. And that was based upon the premise of the book was based upon that too, is that The rich dad had certain advice to give to Robert Kiyosaki, and the poor dad had other advice. And Kiyosaki was like weighing this, and he was going, "My gosh, who's right here?" Well, the rich dad was making quite a bit of money, and the poor dad wasn't. And so the game gives you very stark reality where you're going to have to make some decisions in life that you're going to have to make in order to get to where you want to go in life. And when you see it on paper, when you're playing this game, you go, "Oh my gosh, you're right." And I think even as I'm thinking about it now, there are things that happen to you in life because there's, of course, it's a game, the game you're playing. When you're looking at the game and you get things in life, you go, "Oh my gosh, that is actually stopping me from getting to where I want to go." So one of the things might be having children. You might have to. We were talking about sacrificing. You might have to forego having kids for a year, 2 years, 3 years, because guess what? They cost money. There's certain things in life that just cost money. Cable TV costs money. Cell phone costs money. Doing all these things that you thought were just things that you like to do in life, they cost money. So you may not have to do this. You might want to sit down and play that game, and it will show you in stark reality what will hinder you and what will help you get to where you want to go in life. And this is very important. Let's talk about some vehicles that will help you get to $1 million. Stocks, bonds, being in trading will get you there. There's no doubt about it. Year over year, 15 years, it doesn't matter if the stock market goes this way or that way, it goes this way, it goes that way. It does that all the time. Okay? But if you want to make $1 million, you could do it in the stock market next year. Okay? There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it in my mind. If you are very vigilant about it, you focus on being a stock trader and take every bit of money that you make in your regular job. Okay? We're not saying you quit your job on any of these things. So I want to make sure everybody knows this. We're not saying stop your job. We're saying take the resources that you have in your job, and now you're focusing that money on the stock market. And you don't have to start off with a lot of money, but you have to be very vigilant about it. So you could make $1 million in the stock market next year. Okay? It's a proven vehicle, and if you make the right trades, very easily you could do that. Okay? So people are asking, what's the difference between the stock market and gambling? Okay? Well, you could make $1 million in gambling next year. You could. But that's gambling. And we do not advocate gambling, even though we live in Las Vegas and we see people make millions of dollars on a daily basis here. That is not something you can do over and over and over again. Okay, we're talking about stuff that you can do or proven methods that you can use, and they're reproducible. You can do them over and over and over again. Okay, and some of you are getting it now, is that we want to be able to reproduce what we're doing on a consistent basis over and over and over again. And in the stock market, you can do that. You can develop systems, and they will work over and over and over again, because the stock market tends to follow certain cyclical patterns. And if you can figure out the patterns for it, you will be very, very well rewarded. The number two thing that you could actually do is real estate. Okay? Real estate is, guess what, folks? They ain't making any more of it. They're just not making any more. Residential or commercial. Okay? Or you can just do land. Okay? Once again, I've got friends that is all they do is real estate. They don't understand the stock market, and they go, look, leave the stock market up to other people who understand it, but I understand real estate. I understand real estate. And real estate, once again, is it is something that is never, even though the world may go to hell in a handbasket, real estate's always going to be there. People always need a place to live. And it's just a time-honored thing. The third thing that you can get involved in is starting your own business. Okay. Now, I want to preface this. That business must produce something that at the end of the year it's going to produce $1 million. Okay, it's $1 million a year business, and it doesn't have to be a huge business. I mean, it really doesn't. Most businesses, you'd be very surprised how many businesses are out there. The people who live next door to you are millionaires. They have assets. They have, and it's an income producing business that produces well in excess of $1 million, even if they pay their employees. Okay, you're helping other people, but your business will produce $1 million easily. Okay, you just have to pick the right kind of business. You can't pick a business that is not going to, I mean, that's going to only make $30,000. Okay, it just doesn't do it. Okay, it's got to produce a significant amount of money. You've got to, do the math, show what it's going to do, and it will produce $1 million a year. A lot of consultants, okay, very easily make $1 million a year. Okay, and it's a one man. So we're not talking about that you have to have a business where you have to have a brick and mortar or something like that. You could have a business as a consultant, and you're a consultant, and your fee produces $1 million a year. You just have to get the right clients, and you line them up, and that's what you do. You could be a speaker. Many speakers make $30,000-$40,000 per speech, and they can do that all year long. Man, there's people. There's all kinds of ways of doing that. So there are ways of making $1 million, and you can do it, folks. But once again, we got to go back, and I just want to go back for just a second. It is going to take sacrifice. There's no doubt about it. You cannot dilly-dally, wishy-washy about this whole thing and expect to make the significant amount of money that you want to make. You cannot just overspend and eat your seed because you feel like, oh, I deserve it. Okay? You can deserve it in 365 days. Okay? You can hold out, folks. You really can. Trust me, you can hold out on this. Sit down, come up with a plan, and say, okay, in 2021, I am going to do this. You can do it, folks. There's no doubt in my mind. And when you do, I want you to write to me and say, Sherman, you were right. I sat down with a plan. I had a heart-to-heart talk with myself. I had a heart-to-heart talk with my family. And we said, we're going to do this. And we knew it was going to be hard. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. We knew it was going to take sacrifice. But we said, you know what, we're going to do this. Okay? We're cutting out all of the frivolous stuff, the nonsense stuff that we're just going to, not really, it's not going to benefit us in another year. And we said, we're going to do something that's going to last us generations. And we want to thank you for that. So I want you to write to me and let me know about that. It's just write to blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com and say, hey, Sherm, thank you so much for reminding us that we could actually do this. Okay. Because you can. I know you can. And, I really look forward to hearing from you. So the time we have left, I want to let you know about what's going on. Just another 2 more weeks. Black Success Magazine, the flagship periodical way of communicating. It's coming out in 2 more weeks, folks. We are very excited about it. We are 99.9% done with it. We do have some ad space left in the production, so you can actually, if you'd like to be an advertiser in it, just send me an email at blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com. It's blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com. And we will we'll get you hooked up. I'm telling you right now, folks, do not wait for this. Don't wait, because once we go to press, we're going to go to press. And we can't hold off any longer. We've held off as long as we can. We want you to know that we're out there. There's some great articles in there. We're going to be talking about people who've done some very successful things in life. I think you're going to be very, very impressed with some of the stories that we've got in there and some of the things that are going to help you. I mean, they're going to help you out tremendously. Some of them might be familiar to you, which is cool. So Black Success Magazine is coming out in about another 2 weeks or so, about mid-December. It's our inaugural issue. So if you want to be a part of our inaugural issue, we want to encourage you, be a part of it. Come send me an email at blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com and say, Sherm, we want to advertise in your magazine. We can. Oh, sorry about that. We'll make it longer for you, and we'll add in, okay? Because right now, we'll make the magazine even bigger. If you want to advertise, just let us know, okay? Small ad, big ad, you just let us know, and we will get you to be a part of it. All right, folks. We're done. If you like this on YouTube, I really appreciate it. Just subscribe to our, push the little button in front of you there and subscribe to us. If you like us on YouTube, on Facebook, we thank you so much. Like our page, share this video with all of your friends, and we will see you again tomorrow for Black Success Magazine, the podcast with your host, Sherman Ray. That's me. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.